Good evening, and thank you for joining us. We're going to begin with breaking news. Tonight, a new wave of coronavirus cases is now crashing across the country, taxing intensive care units and threatening to roll back months of progress in the fight against COVID-19. As we come on the air, more than 60,000 Americans are now hospitalized with the virus, an alarming new high. The death toll is climbing, too. The CDC is now bracing for as many as 20,000 more Americans to die in just the next 3 weeks alone. The country's top infectious disease expert saying he's hoping Pfizer's new vaccine may help change that. Dr. Anthony Fauci says the new shots could get emergency approval as soon as next week and could be available to most Americans by April. Well, tonight we'll take you inside the complex plan to make that happen. President Trump took credit for the vaccine's development today on Twitter while continuing to falsely allege the election fraud and without providing proof. President-elect Biden called Mr. Trump's refusal to concede the race an embarrassment, saying Republicans who won't acknowledge his win are intimidated by the president. He says that won't stop him from taking office in January, even though tonight the Trump administration is still refusing to start the transition process. There's a lot of new reporting to get to. We've got our team of correspondents standing by to cover it all. CBS's Janet Shamlian is going to lead off our coverage tonight from El Paso. Good evening, Janet.
Nora, good evening to you. Coronavirus is out of control in so many parts of the country tonight. Here in El Paso at hospitals like this, they set an all-time record today, not just for hospitalizations, but for the number of people in ICU. Also tonight, there is a new development on the search for a vaccine.
Breaking news tonight. The nation's top infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, says he expects the Pfizer vaccine to go through the FDA's emergency authorization process in the next week and a half.
By the time we get into December, we'll be able to have doses available for people who are judged to be at the highest priority.
The latest COVID hotspot is the entire nation.
There's no question that our hospitals are about to be overrun. Do not be at all surprised when we hit 200,000 cases a day.
That's Dr. Michael Osterholm, newly named to President-elect Biden's Coronavirus Advisory Board.
How bad did it get for you?
It felt like a bad flu.
Dr. Julio Novoa is an El Paso OBGYN who got the virus and passed it to his wife.
It's something scary. It's your life. It could be life or death.
In the Chicago area, hours-long waits for testing. More than 100,000 in Illinois tested on Monday alone.
15 states have seen coronavirus hospitalizations double in the last month, including New Mexico, where hospitalizations tripled in a month, as Des Moines hospitals are at capacity, even the Children's Hospital. A stark warning in Oklahoma.
If our current rate of infection is not curbed, we will run out of beds and of staff.
And dire predictions in Minnesota.
The fear is once you lose control, this line would go off the top of the television screen here.
In Idaho, one of the state's largest hospitals had to temporarily send patients away the last 2 weekends. No room. Amid COVID fatigue, some scenes of defiance, including in El Paso today, where we found this clothing store open despite a lockdown on non-essential businesses. Dr. Novoa says he learned the consequences can be severe.
As a dad, as a husband, when you were sick, did you allow yourself to think about how bad it could get?
The first day, I really worried, what happens if I die? That was the only day I allowed myself to really think about it, the first day.
And tonight, the city of Newark, New Jersey has imposed a mandatory curfew on more than 130,000 of its residents. They won't be allowed outside after 9 o'clock on weekdays unless it's for work or an emergency. And Nora, that curfew will stay in effect until December 1st. Nora.
Really interesting, Janet Shamlian. Thank you.